Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Bitcoin SV Bulldozer. So I don't know how many videos I'm going to post on this channel. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I feel impelled to create a video. And the video will be titled Bitcoin SV Bulldozer or Limp Lettuce. So I've been involved in cryptocurrencies since 2016. I'm not an OG by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm not wet behind the ears either. And I have very particular views about the whole crypto space, Bitcoin SV in particular, and I know basically the history of Bitcoin and the forks and all of that. This is not an uneducated opinion that I'm putting forward, right? I'm also not exactly a slouch when it comes to technology. So I understand the technology very well. So I'm just going to backtrack to my experience with Bitcoin SV and how I got into it, I guess. And just paint a picture for you of the scene when I got into Bitcoin SV and the scene as it is now. So my journey to Bitcoin SV was that I had a YouTube channel, and it was fairly popular, not massively popular, but fairly popular, particularly during the ICO craze of 2017. And it was great for a while, but then I realized whenever I produced any video of substance on the channel, it would get 10 or 15 views. But then when I produced a price video, it would get thousands of views. So with the audience, I started getting sarcastic. I started playing games. I'd post mock videos of price pumps, and I'd troll people that came to my channel saying, when is Litecoin going to go to $100,000? No, they'd say, how high do you think Litecoin is going to go? And I'd say, I think it's going to be worth $100,000 within 5 years' time, but $100,000 is going to be worth a loaf of bread. So I wasn't giving them the dopamine hit that would satisfy their craving for price pump videos, right? So I just got so fed up with it. And then Bitcoin SV emerged onto the scene, and I'd seen the fork. I'd seen the Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash fork, and then I saw this other fork, and at the time I wasn't fully informed of what was going on. I had some real doubts about the Lightning Network, and also I knew about the Axe's involvement in funding Blockstream and Blockstream controlling the code. So I didn't like the fact that Bitcoin was forced to remain at 1 megabyte blocks. And when Bitcoin SV appeared on the scene, I was, here's more politics from Bitcoin. But I couldn't shake it. I kept coming back to Bitcoin SV, and the reason I kept coming back to Bitcoin SV was because the focus wasn't on price. The focus was on utility, and that got me excited. Wow, possibilities, and we're going to restore Bitcoin. So it was restored successfully. I also predicted this massive spike in the lead up to the Genesis upgrade. I predicted that. I cashed in beautifully because I knew that it would dump. I've been in this space for long enough. I know a pump and a dump, because this whole space is about pump and dump. So I got sick of having my ass handed to me whenever a coin would pump and dump. And this time I actually just, rode the wave up. I saw it coming. There were so many factors, obvious factors, which would make it spike in price. It did, and I dumped. And I was so glad that I did, because I dumped on all the fucking moon boys that come into the space wanting to get rich. All the moon boys coming to my channel when I talk about price, and avoiding it when I talk about something interesting. So I'm actually going to give you guys what I think the situation is now with Bitcoin SV, is that it's basically becoming a limp lettuce. When I saw it for the first time, and there was so much energy around it. That was around 2000, 19, that whole year 2019, leading up to the Genesis upgrade, that had that dry tinder feel about it where something is going to spark it and it's going to go ballistic, in price that is. And just every day there was something new happening on Bitcoin SV, new in terms of the technology, new in terms of innovation, all these different characters in the space as well, like Ryan X Charles and Unwriter, and just different personalities. They were all there, and now it just feels like it's dry, boring corporate crap. I only sort of dibble in the news of here and there. So it's becoming a limp lettuce, and it's our responsibility to do something about it. Utility, do something. Don't just sit on your ass and be a hodler. Actually go and do something with the code. I'm going to talk about Josh Hensley here, and I think he's great. I love his videos, and I think that whenever he arrived on the scene in BSV, he actually filled a vital niche. Hi, Joshua, by the way, if you happen to be watching this video or listening to this video. Great stuff, mate. So he saw an opportunity there, in my opinion. I don't know if he realised it, but he filled a niche in BSV. And that was really talking about the whole space, and also an objective view, a kind of objective view, right? He's not completely sold on BSV. He thinks, probably like me, I don't really want to speak for him, but that it's the only coin that works in the space properly. But who's to say BTC can't fix their issues? Yeah, I know there are arguments for and against it, right? But he filled that niche, and I think that he's sort of gone quiet, and I understand why he's moved house, etc. But I still feel that a niche is waiting to be filled, and I'm actually handing somebody out there a frickin' opportunity on a silver platter, right? Somebody can come in and fill this goddamn fucking niche in Bitcoin SV and stop it from becoming a limp lettuce leaf. And the way you do that is by using the fucking thing. It's got so many possibilities. So many things can be done with it. And why aren't I filling that niche? That's the question. Well, I can't fill it for personal reasons. I want to, I'd love to be able to, but I can't. And I'm not going to go into those reasons, right? But I have very strong reasons. It's like, if you knew me, you would understand why. Okay? That's the way I'll put it. So I'm handing it out to somebody to goddamn fill this fucking niche, because I reckon you could do very well out of it. I reckon you could possibly make a lot of money, and make a lot of money actually doing something, not sitting on your ass and waiting for coin to moon, right? And so here is the niche. It's doing things with interesting things with Bitcoin SV, with the technology, and showing the public, look at all this cool stuff that I can do, right? Here's an example. Here's something that I would try if I had the ability to do so. And it's not from lack of smarts that I don't have the ability. So here's something that I would do. I would, first of all, I've got one of these trackers. It's called an Estimote beacon, and they've got more sophisticated ones than the one that I've got. It's effectively a tracker, and it uses a component of the 4G network, if I'm not mistaken, right? And you can charge the thing, and it will last for a few years on one charge, right? It uses minimal electricity. So this is just for fun, okay? Just playing with the technology. Have some fun with it. None of this goddamn boring Craig Wright lectures. This is why this works, and this is... You know, I don't give a shit about your fucking lectures. I want to see something fun and interesting. So get one of these Estimote beacons, set it up with a Twilio account, and just use it to track where this bloody thing is going. Send the data up to your estimate. Sorry, your where would it go? So it would go to Twilio and then Estimote. You can then capture that data and then send it to the blockchain, right? And record exactly where that bloody thing is going. This is the technocratic wet dream. Okay, so this thing will just be pumping out bits of data every now and then, sending it up to the cloud, and then via Twilio and Estimote, and then via your own rented server with your own coding, send that data onto the blockchain. And then what will happen is that you've got a record of exactly where that beacon has been at any time, permanently stamped on the blockchain. I would do that just for fun, just for kicks, just to see if I can actually fucking do it, right? But I am limited. So that's the sort of thing that I would love. If people were doing this sort of shit with Bitcoin SV, if they had their own channel and they were doing this sort of shit, innovative shit, not just, when's the next MACD level, when's Fibonacci retracement, I hate charts. It's boring. It's fucking boring. Nobody is interested in those charts anyway. You do a search on Bitcoin on YouTube, nobody gives a shit about those charts. The reason why they click on the fucking thing is so that they can get their dopamine hit to tell them their coin's going to moon. That's all it is. It's a dopamine hit. It's not about charts, right? I don't care about your fucking moon dreams. You're pathetic if you're just sitting back and waiting for Bitcoin SV to moon. This is a fucking gold mine, this thing. It's, Josh Hensley calls it lightning in a bottle. I think that at certain times in Bitcoin SV's history, it's actually almost got, it's like when they talk about hyper Bitcoinization, right? Bitcoin SV has been at the point of just making a massive breakthrough, not just price-wise, but the utility where suddenly the community gets it. It's been at this point about 4 or 5 times, right? And I believe that every single time it's been sabotaged, whether it be a 51% attack or this guy that mined empty blocks, something comes along and goes, we don't want that. No, we're not going to allow that. I've really got a sense for these things, dry tinder. That's why I knew Bitcoin SV would spike in early 2020. I knew it would be one of a number of factors that would cause Bitcoin SV to go from, it went from like $70 to $400 or $500. I don't know exactly. I have to convert from Australian dollars to US dollars to work it out exactly. So you could be that guy. If you've got the programming skills, the ability to do this, you could be that guy that fulfills this niche, right? Have your channel, show all the amazing, cool stuff that you can do. Show it. I would watch. I would want to know what you're doing. I would want to know all the crazy stuff that you're doing, right? Because if I could do it myself, I would. And I know how special this technology is. But it's just, it's like, you know what it's like? There's the scene from Highlander. The guy says something like, I think it's Highlander, he says, it's better to burn out than to fade away, right? And I think BSV is in danger of just fading away like a limp lettuce leaf. That's my video. Hope you enjoyed. Bye for now.